Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Yes, here we are in our own little haunted house here in the SWBC podcast studio. Happy Halloween as Everson Walls tries to get his mic cord out of the spider web that has been weaved in the studio today.
They really did weave it in.
They did.
Jeez.
And
this stuff is sticky, man. It's not just, it's actually sticky.
The spider web's sticky.
Like cotton candy.
Uh-huh. And I'm eating my candy corn. I'm going to see how many candy corns I can eat during a 45-minute
Can you pass me some
Mix
Snickers,
shots.
please?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Let's see if you got hands.
Thank you, my brother.
Oh.
I'm 1 for 3.
Mickey doesn't have an arm. I got
1 for 3.
There's nothing in this one.
Oh, yeah. That's why Spags passed it to me.
Here it is, a Thursday,
Skittles.
Halloween,
Skittles.
inside the SWBC podcast studio with football players on a football field.
Mm-hmm.
And we have full attendance, and we're getting ready for the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday.
Not only are there football players on the football field, there's a deep snapper, a holder, and a kicker.
Wow.
The jury's over. We have a verdict is in.
He's back.
Was the verdict, is it in?
I didn't see what it was.
He's done with jury
well,
duty.
As long as we know he's done,
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
he's ready to play.
Yeah.
Ready to kick for practice.
Wow.
Okay, about time.
Is that a first?
I believe so.
Player.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember somebody missing for jury duty before.
That's crazy.
You know, more interesting is that he missed baby duty than my wife would say, you're deferring. You're not taking it on your day off. The only day that I get any relief from our new baby, I'm not. You're not going to jury duty.
The baby's at least, what, two
months old?
2 months old?
It was August.
It happened
so
during the
2.5 months
preseason
old.
games.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
So, all right, we got lots to get to on this edition of Mick Shots.
Yes, we do.
Do we start with the text exchange last night?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes,
Everson,
please, man. Yes, let's go with the text.
Here's the reason the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series last night. Okay, let me find it. Where is it on here?
There it is. I got it.
Okay, Everson. There we go.
Yesterday, 8:41 p.m.
At 8:41 p.m. was precisely when Shohei Ohtani was batting for the Dodgers against Garrett Cole. And Everson texted us saying, Cole is dealing with 3 exclamation points.
And he was.
And he was.
After Ohtani, he got him. First of all, the way he struck him out with a breaking ball, right? Curveball.
Yeah.
I mean, beautiful curveball, because you can tell, Shani loves fastballs. And he fed it to him. Next thing you know, he dropped it out on him down to the bottom.
Okay.
And he's down.
So then
that was 2 outs, right? 2 outs.
Now,
Well,
it was
the
one
bases-
out.
1 out.
Struck out the next guy.
Struck out
bases
the
were
next guy.
loaded, right?
Yeah.
Bases were
Okay.
loaded. Yeah.
And then, Everson texted,
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well,
Uh-oh.
And then Everson said, wow.
Well, that's because
It was the third
Because Freddie
Freddie
Freeman got a hit,
Right.
and then Teoscar Hernandez, and all of a
started
sudden,
the rally.
the 5-0 Yankees lead. It had nothing to do with any errors that the Yankees committed. It was a text from Everson Walls saying
That was
Cole
it.
is dealing.
dealing.
It was the kiss of death for the Yankees.
sure was.
And before you knew it, it was a 5-5 game, and then
Well, there's a and then there's a wow.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
No, there was an no, and wow.
Right.
And then I texted bad text exposed.
Right.
Mickey said, wow. And I said, I can't wait to talk about this tomorrow. Don't be calling in sick, Everson.
Not this time. No.
You don't see an inning like that in the Little League World Series.
That's crazy.
Right?
They said that's probably the worst defensive inning in the history of the World Series.
I mean, Judge drops a can of corn.
Especially the Yankees World
drops
Series.
a can of corn.
Man.
And
After he had just made stop, Bill.
Yeah.
As I'm eating
Stop,
candy
Bill,
corn, the
stop,
can
Bill.
of candy corn.
Can we finish here?
After he makes a game or maybe home run saving catch
Man,
at the wall.
that's what I'm talking
almost
about.
knocks himself
He
out.
actually hit a home
He
run
almost
in the
knocked
game.
the
And
wall
he hit a
down.
home run.
And he hit a home run. This is his coming out party for the World
And
Series.
then he casually looks at the guy on the base and drops a fly ball. The next batter hits a ground ball. They
Why is
try
he
to
looking
force
at
the
the
guy
guy?
at third base, and he throws a bad throw.
Because he was intimidated by the speed.
But the worst.
That's what pressure does.
The worst was the ground ball
Oh,
to
my
first.
God.
Didn't know what he covered. He didn't cover. He thought the guy was going to come in because he could have come in,
Easy roller.
but he waited for it.
Well, I'm sure he kind of wanted to give the pitcher, his love. Like, you give him his flower. Hey, man, you can take this one. And that you could see him tapping tapping the bag, catching the ball, and he just finished
And I don't
the
know
inning.
who said it,
Come
but
on,
the
how
announcer.
good would that look for Cole?
It
You
would.
finished off the inning with your catch. But now you're like, oh, you got it.
The announcer goes, nobody's covering first base.
That's another run, right? Another
Well, no,
run there.
that was the first run,
That
and
was the
then they
first
got
one.
the hits to tie it
Oh,
up.
man.
Was the catcher's interference in that inning, too, or is that a later inning?
That was a later inning. I
Okay.
think.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because Otani was back up.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was Otani.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
I couldn't hardly see that one at first. They had to show it to me the third angle. Then that's when
On the catcher's interference?
Yeah,
You can tell how much of a baseball guy Everson is.
Man, my dad loved, black men back in the day. Everything's Jackie Robinson. So I, as much as I had to play football, I had to play baseball.
Yeah.
I didn't play basketball growing up. I had to play baseball, and I had to use his glove, of course. So yeah, he always
It was a
brags.
Jackie
about,
Robinson glove?
No, but he always brags about what? Let's Play 2.
Yeah.
No, that
Go
was
ahead.
Ernie Banks.
Ernie
I know,
Banks.
no, but he always bragged about Ernie Banks. He's from the area.
From Dallas.
Dallas.
They
Yeah.
they
Downtown
he
Dallas.
would come back, old school baseball players, they come back home and they used to play softball with Ernie Banks.
I played
back in
high school basketball against Ernie Banks' nephew, Bobby Johnson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played at Kimball.
Yeah, so he always loved baseball and I always got into it. Man, come on, you remember those Reggie Jackson days, the Oakland A's days, man. Then the Yankees and Reggie and Billy Martin and come on, man.
Oh, those were
all
good
of
old
that,
days.
All of that stuff.
That's why I didn't think anybody else watched baseball anymore.
I love baseball.
And the White Sox
that's why
in
they're-
1959,
White
by the way.
And you know what's funny? I remember the White Sox really battling back in the 70s and 80s.
But they couldn't get past the
couldn't
A's.
get past anybody. That's it. That's what I remember about the White Sox.
So that's over with, and now we turn our attention to Sunday in Atlanta.
Yes.
And
Where
what's
would you
your
like
take?
to start with
Let's
the
start-
Cowboys?
Let's start with
Injury report
an
that didn't
update
change?
on Micah Parsons. Is Micah
No.
playing?
No.
He's already been ruled out by Mickey.
Yes. Duran Bland? No.
You have to listen to 105.3. And then you'll find out all this stuff.
Oh, because you're listening to Mickey. You get briefed on
I get
Mickey's
briefed on Mickey.
report on 105.3.
every
Now you
Thursday
know
morning.
where
man.
he's going with all
Oh,
his
my
takes.
And then Trayvon Diggs is a we'll see, but I think you'll see.
Yeah, he'll play.
And then Zach, he wasn't sure of at this point.
Really?
And it's a shoulder for Zach Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about
He's
this.
seen a back before,
I mean,
a shoulder.
he's played through it, but
Dude,
he's getting beat up.
yeah, Zach's getting beat up.
I made him we taped the Mike McCarthy show, and I didn't expect. We don't ever talk about injuries, obviously. He's not going to reveal anything.
I was
going
going to say his favorite subject, by the way.
But the final segment of the show, I have like an unsung star of the week, whatever, and I made my unsung star Zach Martin just based on knowing his injury situation.
Right.
And that was basically the reason for it, was playing through injuries and stuff. And by the way, this will be the 100, if he's able to play on Sunday, it'll be the 160th game of his career on Sunday.
Did you count him up?
I
Read it somewhere.
Football Reference had it
There
for
you
me.
go.
Yeah.
So now it looks like with Bland not playing, O'Ruarie going on injured reserve, that Kalen Carson said he's ready to go, and I've heard he's ready to go. So you're going to have him back starting, I think, at cornerback on the outside.
And they're in a nickel, three wide receiver set all the time, basically.
And
Atlanta is.
Not only that, but with Kyle Pitts, you better have another safety out there that can cover, because they use him, obviously, quite a bit, right?
You said it right. A safety that can cover.
Right.
So that's something that we need to be aware of. Someone that can cover. Because I don't want to see another tight end running all the way across the field, and as you said this morning, clearing the zone. Running all the way across the field, clearing the zone. And that's what was happening last week.
Right, when you have that much time, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter
that much time.
If you're in man, because the guy can't cover that long.
Yes, he can.
Well, I don't see anybody that
Well,
can.
we just
when
don't
you
have
line
anyone
up on
that
the
can.
right side in the slot and you catch the ball on the left sideline, it's a tight end, right?
Right.
You're not getting a corner. But he clears the zone, because you using one of those linebackers, if not both of them, to try to create a pass rush that they absolutely cannot do. And if you give Cousins, who, by the way, was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week for his performance against Tampa Bay, 23 of 29, 276, and 4 touchdowns. 4.
That means he's due to have a bad week this week.
Oh, okay. Is that what your stat sheet shows?
Well, that's what they say in the NFL. The more you win, the closer you are to losing.
That's the truth. But they have, and they've
They've won 4 out of the last 5 games.
But you know who they've beaten, right?
I do, and I can.
I'll tell you.
Okay, you got it in front of you?
New Orleans, 2-6. Tampa Bay in overtime, 4-4.
Great game.
Carolina, 1-7. Tampa Bay, 4-4. They've already played Tampa Bay twice.
Wow.
And in between, against Seattle, they got blown out at home 2 weeks ago, 34-14.
Okay, and the other loss, Kansas City, 7-0. The other loss, Pittsburgh, 6-2. So does this sound a little bit familiar about what we've
He's
seen?
now run through the Cowboys. New Orleans is now 2-6.
The only the only loss of the 4 bad one is New Orleans, 2-6.
Which was like the hottest team in the league because they played Carolina the first week and then Dallas the second week.
They were second line in all of
the other teams the Cowboys have lost to.
You know what second line is? The little dance that they do?
Oh, yeah.
They do the little second line. Yeah. They did that all in our doggone lobby of the stadium last time we played them. And they partied, and that's the last party they've had. They haven't done jack since.
So the other 3 losses are teams that are in first place?
And the team 3 that were also in conference championship games last year.
Yeah.
Baltimore, Detroit, and San Francisco.
So
that gives you a little more perspective.
And we could say, San Francisco came in 3-4, so it was a team like yourself, but it really wasn't a team like yourself.
No.
They were, from a personnel standpoint, better than the Cowboys. And it
Barely,
as it turned out. And it was on the road. Well, they're going on the road again against a team sort of like themselves.
Front runners?
Beat teams they probably should have beaten and lost to the teams that they should have lost to.
One thing interesting, talking with Mike McCarthy today, I did cite the fact that in the first half of the game, talking about the improvement in the run game, the 65-yard, 11-play drive, that the Cowboys had 7 runs and 4 pass plays on that drive, and
looked like the old Cowboys.
And in matter of fact, I said, matter of fact, in the third quarter. At one point in the third quarter, Zeke was at 7 carries for 35 yards, averaging 5 yards a carry.
Sure
and
did.
McCarthy said, we got sideways in the third quarter.
Well,
and he was talking about, we were talking about the run game. And so I think he understands that they needed to run the football more in the third quarter.
And stop making so many mistakes. in other facets of the game. Third quarter, all over again.
21-0. So now they're going up against a quarterback that they know where he should be in the pocket, right? I just stumbled on this, but he's been forced to run Cousins 14 times. He's got 8 yards.
Come on, man. You're supposed to ask us to guess, and I was going to give you the answer. I already saw the interview.
You were listening.
I heard, that's right. Dang, dude. Come on. I got to be useful around here some kind of way.
So they kind of know where he's going to be, right? And he's been pretty good all season long. His quarterback.
How's Dak running the ball?
He's not.
What, you got his
you want his stats?
His numbers, not much better. I think we had those stats yesterday.
Yes, we did. Yesterday.
Dak has run 10 times for 24 yards.
And Cousins is what?
14
for 8.
Okay.
So your quarterback's running better than theirs.
Cowboys have a better run game than Atlanta, right?
Except the Cowboys don't have Robinson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bijan. And as we pointed out yesterday, Algier, I added it up that 2 of them have gone for 898 yards in 8 games.
Yep.
So
almost half a season for them.
You better pay attention to those dudes. And they got a tight end that you got to cover, which we mentioned. And the receivers aren't all that bad, right? London's pretty good.
Well,
London is going to be a problem.
Drake London.
He's a nice big target, and he's tough too. Big tough kid.
You know what the Falcons have done? Terry Fontenot, their GM, who took over 4 years ago, they've invested in weapons on offense, and starting with Kyle Pitts, the 4th pick in the draft, continuing with Drake London, who I think was the 8th pick in the draft, and then Bijan Robinson, who 2 years ago or last year was the 8th pick in the draft.
So did I hear someone say that their offensive line, they had 3 first-round picks on the offensive line?
They got Jake Matthews at left tackle, the first-round draft pick.
The Matthews?
Yeah. Yes.
Jeez, they got a whole family of big offensive linemen running around.
Yep.
Jeez.
He's from the Bruce Matthews.
Right.
Jeans, buddy. Jeans.
Right.
Big
Clay
jeans.
Matthews. That's some big jeans.
Think how long the Matthews have been playing in the NFL.
Houston Oilers. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I bet you go back 40 years for sure, right? Maybe approaching 50 years, because one of the Matthews was playing in the 70s. Yeah,
I played with Clay with the Browns.
We need to look that up.
Go to Grandpa or somebody.
and so Bruce was. I thought Bruce was the first one. I thought Bruce was the guy. Bruce.
Right.
Oilers.
Right.
That's
Bruce Matthews.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. How old am I again? Jeez.
I'll have to look at it. I'll have to look up about the Matthews family. But anyway, to answer your question, then Chris Lindstrom was a first-round pick in 2019, and Caleb McGarry, and he's the right guard, and the right tackle, Caleb McGarry, was first-round pick also in 2019.
If I remember, Lindstrom's did not practice.
Yeah, he came out of last week's game after 41 snaps.
He's got a knee.
And then they should be, and McCarthy actually brought it up himself, he anticipates they'll get their center back this week, Drew Dahlman, although he returned to practice this week. His 21-day window started, and
he was limited.
He had an high ankle sprain, and McCarthy is anticipating that he'll be back.
Unlike last week when he thought that they should have rested Debo.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a good answer.
The other guy on their offensive line who I really liked in the draft, I think the Cowboys did too, Matthew Bergeron, was an early second-round draft pick, 38th overall last year. He's their left guard. So their offensive line has done a good job, and they've been healthy.
So why are they
outside of the center going down?
So that's why they're 5-3.
Mm-hmm.
So with the exception of New Orleans, they've beaten who they should have beaten.
And when they played New Orleans,
and something happened
in the 4th week of the season.
Didn't something happen in the Philadelphia
game? New Orleans, what has happened in New Orleans is you talk about injuries.
New Orleans and Philadelphia?
No, Philadelphia when Atlanta beat at Philadelphia, 22-21.
Second week of the season.
Yeah, something happened in that game. I can't remember.
Okay, we'll have to go back.
Other than they scored one more point.
Yeah.
All right, we turn our attention to the Atlanta defense and some hope for the Cowboys offense when we come back on Mick Shots in a moment.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine says...
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Back to Mick Shots.
Cowboys Nation, it's time to get the giving season going. Tune in to see country music superstar Lainey Wilson and a special guest perform during the Salvation Army's annual Red Kettle Kickoff halftime show this Thanksgiving on Fox. Every donation stays in the community to provide help and hope for those in need. So tune in to watch the Cowboys, Giants, and Lainey Wilson this Thanksgiving and give today at salvationarmyusa.org.
All right, Mickey has gone out to check on practice. See what's going on out there on this Halloween edition. Oh, hopefully he'll safely get back here inside the SWBC podcast studio, because it is Mick Shots, brought to you by Miller Lite.
What the heck can he be looking at?
I have
They're
no
just
idea.
practicing.
Is
he
he
zoned
knows,
in on somebody?
and he knows that the break is like 1 minute
right,
long.
and he knows my reading is going to be flawless, so there won't be any problems.
How can you be distracted? Because I want to get to the Matthews family tree,
which is
wait on
the
him.
roots run deeper than you thought. Huh?
Exactly. But I'm waiting on Mickey to be able to react.
There you go.
Mickey actually is old enough to maybe have seen some of these Matthews.
We found some Matthews.
How
we
far
found
back?
more Matthews.
All right, here's how far back the Matthews go. And Jake Matthews is the son of Bruce Matthews, the Hall of Fame offensive lineman for the Houston Oilers. And he's the nephew of Clay Matthews Jr., okay, his grandfather.
See, I told you, grandfather.
Yeah.
So Clay Matthews, okay, hold on. Bruce Matthews started playing with the Oilers in 1983. His older brother, Clay Matthews Jr., began his career in 1978. Mm-hmm. So that's as far back as I had recalled that the Matthews went. So that would take us back nearly 50 years. We're talking 46 years.
Okay.
But Clay Matthews Sr. also played in the NFL, drafted by the Los Angeles Rams in 1949 and played for the San Francisco 49ers from 1950 to 1955.
Still before my time.
You show him the picture.
And then, yeah. All right. Who does this look like? That's Clay Matthews Sr. He looks like Mike Ditka.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way,
who I saw play.
Shut up.
Did you? You saw Clay Matthews Sr.
No,
play?
Ditka.
No, Ditka. Be quiet.
I told you I didn't see the other guy.
And then the great grandfather of Jake Matthews.
Did he blow up
H.L.
the first football?
Matthews started. He had a minor league baseball career started in 1912.
Oh, okay.
So it goes all the way back to the Titanic almost.
Damn, that's when was it even a football back then?
No, there wasn't.
So getting back to football with the Cowboys.
So what do you see on the practice field?
Micah and Brandon Cooks are on the resistance courts.
Mm-hmm.
The kicker, I told you, was out there. And, here's one that I left out. So I told you Kalen Carson was ready to go, and the reason he has to be ready to go is because they had to place Amani Oluwarie on IR. You know what he's got? They said a back injury.
Yeah.
He's got 3 fractured what do they call them? 3 fractured transverse process. So it's the bony part that comes off.
That's the Tony Romo injury.
Yes, comes off your vertebrae. He fractured 3 of them when that guy, or however it happened, got kneed in the back. Mm-hmm. And I heard that when the trainers saw how it happened, they were going, this is not going to be good. Mm-hmm. And it's not. So, it was the Tony Romo
And they probably
injury.
thought of Romo.
Yeah. So that's why they placed him on injured reserve.
I mean, it seems more serious than
well, I mean, you can't cast it, right?
Right.
That's got to kind of heal on its own.
Yeah.
So I don't know if 4 weeks.
That's what I'm saying.
It started Romo's broadcasting career.
Right. He kept trying to come
because
back.
that's what
the last one, the ultimate one in 2016 in Seattle.
No doubt.
Who was it that hit him? Defensive end for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Cliff Averill.
Very nice.
There you go.
So anyway, that kind of put him out there. So, and I didn't have enough time to see if Diggs what he was doing. So
next break,
see if he's out there. I was trying to find Zach, but they're way on the other end of the field. So
you see how many sacks the Falcons defense has this year?
8.
Like 6.
Okay, I was close.
Oh, that's good.
6 sacks in 8 games.
Well, maybe the Cowboys will have an ability to stand in the pocket and throw the football.
Right. The leading sack artist on the team has 1.5 sacks, I think.
Is that just their style that they don't necessarily bring a lot of pressure?
Because Matthew Judon's not getting to the quarterback, the guy that they acquired in August.
Right.
And in fact, I was listening, going behind enemy lines, listening to the flagship station for Atlanta Falcons football, whatever their call letters are, yesterday, and they were interviewing Raheem Morris. And Raheem was coming right out and say, hey, he hadn't played the way he needs to play.
And Raheem don't play.
That's right.
BS.
That's right.
Yeah, he reminds you a lot of Tomlin.
That's right. Exactly what I thought of when I was listening to him.
Yeah.
Hey, we got him to sack the quarterback, and he needs to sack the quarterback. You can say all the other good stuff. He's doing a lot of other good stuff, but the reason we got him was to sack the quarterback. He needs to get to the quarterback.
Well, I just got to say, after that whole kidney thing with me and Ron, John Gruden, he called me into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when he was there, and Raheem was the
DB's coach.
DB's coach.
Yeah.
I don't think he was a DC, but he was the DB's coach. And I went in there. They invited me to the camp to talk to the people, but I went into the DB room. Aqib Talib that's when he was the star of the team.
Out of Berkner.
And I remember watching and listening to Raheem on how he coached that team, his group, just the defensive backs alone, and to sit in there and just listen to him talk about what their assignment was and what needs to be the thought process of this defense as a secondary. I had never heard anyone with that type of a succinct approach to it. Sometimes words can make you visualize better in your mind on what the coach wants. And the way he used his words and articulated what he wanted from his secondary, I had never had that thought process go through my head before. And I will never forget how impressed I was with just how he coached those players to be as good as they were. Because if I'm not mistaken, they had the other Barber.
Yep.
Barber was there as well.
Rondé
was there as well. And just being in that room, that defensive back room, it was impressive. You had some guys there. It was probably the best group of defensive backs you could be around at that time in the NFL.
Well, if you look at Barber during those days, he's playing outside. They go to nickel, and he goes inside to play the slot.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it looks like you're getting old. You got white hairs coming off your chin. But before we go, when I mentioned I didn't look for Diggs, I wanted to tell people how fortunate we are to have Everson with us, because he diagnosed the controversial play of Diggs in the game and what he actually did. And when somebody finally asked Diggs what was going through his mind, that maybe you do that before you throw the guy under the bus and get it right, he explained it just the way
I did.
You did.
Yeah, I saw that.
Exactly.
I saw that. I sure did.
Didn't want the guy to cut back on him. And then when I realized you got to go get him, then you go get him.
And then that's when they exchanged the pleasantries.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't exchange pleasantries. Somebody throws me under the bus and is wrong, okay?
Well, yeah, he chose the higher road.
Yeah.
He definitely chose
He's
the higher
a better
road.
man than I would have been.
Yeah, we almost got off on that yesterday. So.
By the way, Raheem Morris, it's very interesting when you go back and you can see why he has been so successful and been a head coach candidate throughout his career based on what you're talking about. And in fact, you go back, he was with Tampa Bay first as a quality control coach in 2002, promoted to assistant defensive backs coach, then becomes a defensive backs coach under Gruden.
Yeah.
And then in 2009, he became the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right.
Think about how young he was.
He was.
Because
he's like one of the
right now he's
ever.
just 48 years old.
Right.
That was 15 years ago.
Right.
So at age 33, he became the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for 2 years.
That's true.
Then he's at Washington for 3 seasons as a DB's coach. Then got hired in Atlanta with Dan Quinn as assistant head coach, DB's coach.
Rams?
Falcons through 2020, and then goes to the Rams as the defensive coordinator in 2021. Spent 3 years there, and then this year becomes the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. And a lot of what you'll see from the Falcons is Rams stuff.
Yeah.
And both he hired Zach Robinson as his offensive coordinator, and Zach Robinson was on McVay's staff with the Rams here the last 5 or 6 years, and then he also brought Jimmy Lake, a defensive coordinator, with him from the Rams.
Right.
So
no, he's. I was just impressed. You know, I try to do a little coaching with some kids in the off season just to, just to hang around other coaches and learn some things, and just being around him. Like I said, I had never, as a matter of fact, I borrowed some of his techniques on how he talks to the kids. Sometimes it's not about what you show them physically. You got to get it in their heads first and make them realize it before they can do it. And so he's always been a proponent of that. And I was just never forget how well he coached those guys. And it was a great veteran group, but just how well he coached them and how well they listened to him.
By the way, the other injury report from the San Francisco game, Charlotte Jones.
Yeah. Very good.
Her
Very
rib
good.
injury, they're fractured.
Wow.
And Junior does have a concussion.
I mean, hearing Jerry talk about that, I mean, it was.
That ain't no joke.
I mean, it's
the car
violent.
was
That ain't no joke, bro.
Right?
The vehicle was totaled. I mean, that shows how significant that impact
man?
was.
What they trying to do to us out there? I mean,
Well, they're physical.
It goes outside the stadium, right?
Physical with the cars, too.
My goodness.
My God, you're not breaking into that stadium.
You hurt the first lady. Come on, man. Let's stop this.
Jerry Glanville's on the.
Wow. Oh my God!
You know what?
Oh my God.
You know what? I didn't even. That really is Jerry Glanville.
Jerry.
I thought it was someone in a Halloween costume dressed up as Jerry Glanville.
And also, it's Jerry and the guy dressed up in the Halloween costume.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
All
look
right.
at the young Jerry.
We were watching the NFL Network. Now I'm the distractible player. All right, and we continue with more mix shots in a moment. Here, have another Snickers,
There
Everson.
you go, baby. Still got
Looks
it.
like you need one.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Mick Shots.
Cowboys Nation, Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, is now exclusively in the Dallas Cowboys app. Join the official fan club today to receive access to the all-new Cowboys Drops feature, team news, and pre-sale access, and fan and kid of the game. Download the app now to join.
All right, Mickey, you went out and see any more ghosts and goblins out there?
I saw Zach Martin in uniform practicing. I did not see Trayvon Diggs.
He ghosted us.
So maybe they're trying to rest him and get him to
Sunday.
Well, they better, because with Awarie on IR,
I think you just like saying his name.
Yeah. I just figure if I say it
right.
enough,
you got it right.
That
you are
I'll be able to say
time.
it just when I need to say it.
You are saying it right every time.
That would mean that starting at corner would either be Jordan Lewis moving into the slot, and they would have to bring in Mukwamu, or Andrew Booth has to be active. I don't think you want that.
Mukwamu?
No, I meant Booth.
You got you. Okay.
So, yeah.
If nothing else, we've got big DBs. Small linebackers, but big DBs.
Young ones, too. Basically, starting two rookies, if you want it, however you look at Overshown.
So Carson is ready?
Yes.
Well,
he's out there and he's practicing.
Hey, Bones Fossil just joined us.
All right.
Hey, what's happening?
Very nice.
Thank you, Bones.
We'll see Boo later.
Skeleton.
Appreciate it. Wow.
That was cute.
That was.
Did you pull the mask back?
And he brought
I don't know who that was. It was Bones Fossil.
Throw me a Skittles.
He needs to get back on the field.
Nice.
I like Skittles,
pass.
too. Starburst.
Producer Supreme did a great job with this.
He
whole
did,
setup.
man. He came in here with his kids and did this last night. Man. It was very, very
He's going
cool.
trick-or-treating with them tonight.
He really gets into it, man.
You like original or wild cherry?
No. You know, brothers like the juicy,
purple?
the purple stuff. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
How about the Falcons secondary? You taking a look at them? Jesse Bates.
Bates is playing awfully well. I can't get used to.
Yeah, you seeing Jerry Glanville? It's messing you up a little bit, huh?
You know, my other bump into Jerry Glanville.
Can he play a guitar? Because he looks like he can play a guitar.
They sent me down to Houston when he was the head coach to do a story on him, and they had me waiting for him. He was going to come in, and I waited and waited and waited, and I think it was lunchtime or it was just after lunch. And he finally walks in, and they said, "Oh, he's waiting to talk to you." And he goes, "You waited this long to talk to me?" Just like that. And I go, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "Well, come on, you're going to get something no one else gets. Let's go."
Nice.
And he spent like 20 minutes with me.
Nice.
Yeah, one-on-one with Jerry Glanville.
Well, early on they had Doug Williams on there. There was a guy dressed as Doug Williams. He had the little afro, whatever you want to call it, wig on his head. He had the shoulder pads, and he had Doug's jersey on, his Redskin jersey.
Well, speaking of Doug, he made it to the next round.
No doubt.
In the
That's
contributor
Why is he cutting me off when I'm trying to give my man some love, man? You know,
I'm telling you.
But I love his. That's what. Thank you. Go ahead.
You
finish
brought it up,
He's
and I said,
enhancing
"Oh wait,
your
I just
story.
saw
Yes, he
his.
is. Go ahead.
I just saw his name." Right?
Yeah, no, that's good
in
stuff.
the contributor category.
So we have
along
two
with,
in the contributors.
John Wooten and Bucko Kilroy.
Yeah, but I mean,
former scout.
As far as Grambling, we got 4.
Oh, you got 4 contributors.
No, 2 contributors, 2 players. Myself and Snow.
Oh, in the senior.
Albert, we call him Snow.
In the seniors.
What do you call him?
Snow.
Okay.
Because he was so cold. He could play. He was so cold.
Snow.
Wow. Yeah, he was so cold. That's what they call him. He's not cold enough to get my job at Grambling. But he was damn good.
We're going to find out if he's cold enough to get your job, your place in the Hall of Fame.
But also Tank Younger. Tank Younger is also a contributor from Grambling State. So that's 4.
That's right.
4. Tank Younger. Paul Tank Younger, first Grambling player to be drafted into the NFL.
I remember Wooten telling me Tank Younger stories. He couldn't say enough good stuff about Tank.
Well, he influenced, he inspired all the other black players and former players into going into management.
Right?
Yeah, and that was all from Eddie Robinson. Eddie Robinson pushed for Tank Younger to go into the management of the Los Angeles Rams way back in the day, because as far as he was concerned, Tank Younger was the best thing that ever lived coming through Grambling State.
Well, you mentioned Jerry Glanville. It's just interesting there because he is a former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons.
No doubt.
Yes.
And that was 31 years ago. And that was, I'm looking at his bio, that was his last NFL job. You know how old Jerry Glanville is now?
I'm going to guess 82.
He's 83 years old. And according to Wikipedia, he is currently the defensive coordinator at Northwestern Oklahoma State.
Wow.
I had no idea. The reason we're talking about he's being interviewed on the NFL Network right now, and took us down this Jerry Glanville road.
That's crazy. I almost went and played football there.
At Northwestern? Is that where Patrick Creighton played?
Isn't that in Tahlequah? I'm pretty sure it's in Tahlequah. I'll look it up.
No, Alva, Oklahoma, and that is where Patrick Creighton played, Northwestern Oklahoma State.
Yes,
a lot of colleges in Oklahoma.
He was double directional.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
Double directional college. Northwestern.
Okay, where did that come from?
Northwestern Oklahoma.
In Alva, Oklahoma.
Is that him right there coaching? That looks like the school.
That may be.
The Rangers?
No, and that's when I turned it on, when I saw the guy dressed as Doug Williams.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the one I turned it on.
You first thought it was
What the
Doug
heck is going on? Doug's coming back.
All right, what else you got on your legal pad?
Well,
we've got 2 minutes left in this show. Give us something good. Something that can
we as far as
need a mix shot.
I see, we're done. I see 12:45. Not fast.
Yep. Hello.
I was just I'm looking what.
Ain't nothing, man. Ain't nothing. Bro.
I guess people keep criticizing Dak that he hadn't done this, he hadn't done that, and they always bring up the money. And somebody asked Mike about it, and he said, "Well, number one." He mentioned that, it's tough on the quarterback when we don't run the ball or run it enough, however you want to do it. And then he goes, number two, there is protection that gets into this.
Right.
And he goes, the last thing you want your quarterback to do is think he's got to put the team on his back and start taking chances.
That's what he does all the time.
Which he did with that interception.
That's what he does.
That's
his habit.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
There's always this idea that the quarterback's got to put the team on his back, right? And I remember when they started saying that about Troy towards the end of his career, when the Cowboys didn't have any receivers.
Yeah. It was tough. Troy was going through it. He was going through that. Ooh,
I remember being on the ticket, and we got into it, and I said, well, they don't have any receivers. No one's getting open. And they tried to argue with me. And I said, well, why don't you mix in a game and come and watch, and you can see what the receivers are. They didn't. They weren't very fond of me after that.
They weren't watching then, obviously.
Yeah, they're watching TV, and you can't see. The TV follows the ball.
Right.
They don't follow the routes. And you can see at the game if they're open or not. When you're sitting there watching the quarterback and you look, and it's like, well, where's he going to throw the ball? And sometimes that factors into the quarterback play. He can't get guys open.
You would expect that from just some fans, but if you're in sports, if that's what your job is to cover sports, you think you will cover it properly. And now you've got so much theatrics that are going on that has nothing to do with how you cover a team. I was watching NFL something the other day. And one of the commentators and Stephen A. They called Dak a front runner. Front runner, meaning he only plays well when things are going well. And I thought
they're probably going well because he's playing well.
How silly is that, bro?
Yeah.
How silly. That's the facts right there. And for them I really think at times we get carried away, with how we talk about the players, and we take for granted that these players are going to sit back and take it. I'm surprised what happened with Diggs hadn't happened a lot more, and especially on a nationwide stage. That's just a local taste, what we're talking about. But when you're talking about nationwide, and you've got two guys out there, it wasn't just Stephen A., it was the Graziani guy. They called Dak a front runner. I think it's freaking insulting. I think to call any player a front runner when you're out here trying to do your job the best you can, I thought that was a bunch of BS. And I thought they crossed the line on that. And Jeff Saturday, he took him to the barn on that one and was talking just like you and trying to make them understand, y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about because you hadn't played. Because I played with some of the best quarterbacks ever, and they've had the same issues without having the same support as what Dak is going through right now. And I just thought that was very commendable of him to say that. But for him to have to say that to professionals on a nationwide stage, man, I thought it was very insulting.
I don't think players keep score well enough. If I was a player, and obviously I'm not, but if somebody crossed me and I don't think they were right, they're out. I'm not doing interviews with them. Next time you come to me, I'm sorry, you know everything. Go about your business.
And it'd be okay to just criticize, but that was not a criticism.
Yeah.
That was something that was on a personal level.
That's like an indictment.
That's right. That's right. There's a difference.
And we get away with that because, as they say, that's
what sells.
This is what we live in right
sells,
now. Well, okay, but that doesn't make it right.
Well, then, if you live there, then expect some visitors.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to have some people come to see you about what you said.
We've gotten to the point in this society that it's okay to just go out and lie and get away with, oh, no, he's lying. Well, okay, well, you got to hold him accountable. We don't.
Well, Jeff did. Jeff Saturday did.
Good for him.
I felt good about that.
All right.
All right. Very
Going
good.
trick or treating. You're going to pass out candy tonight at home?
We're passing out right now. I'm taking half of that with me.
I'm taking my candy
I
corn.
got Snickers, man. That's Snickers.
I'm taking Skittles. Purple
so
ones.
I wonder if it'll still be decorated tomorrow.
Why not?
It should be.
I think it should be.
You don't take your Christmas decorations after
We
Christmas,
vote for
right?
Bones Fossil to keep the decorations up for tomorrow. All right, and we will shout at you again tomorrow here on Mick Shots.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?